and welcome back to the video tutorial series of the mobile computing and wireless communication. I am your instructor Varshata. Let's start our lecture series. Okay, so in last lecture we have started the unit number 2. Okay, in last lecture we have covered about the cell geometry, radiation pattern, cellular network, and what is the cellular concept and principle of the cellular network. Okay, so in this lecture, the topic that related to the last lecture we are going to cover. So which are the topics? That is a frequency reuse, cell cluster, then we will see the advantage of the cellular network, and then we will see the disadvantage of the cellular network. Okay, so let's start our lecture. First of all, frequency reuse. Okay, so frequency reuse, why we require the frequency reuse? So to serve the hundreds of the thousands of the user, the frequency must be reused, and this is done through cells. As we have seen in last lecture, we have seen that we are dividing the entire area in different hexagonal cells. Okay, so for example, if we are dividing the 500 kilometer area in suppose 500 cells, so are you going to use the different frequency for 500 cell? No. So that is not possible. What we have to do? We have to use some basic frequency to provide the services to that particular area. Now we have to reuse that particular frequency at different cells at the same distance, and no overlapping should be there. Okay, so this is the concept of the frequency reuse. Now here let's see the area to be covered and subdivided into radio zones or cells. Okay, so base station positioned at the center of the cell, as we have seen in the cell geometry, that in each and every cell there is one antenna. So that antenna will take care of that particular area. Now next is what? Data transmission in cellular network served by its base station, transmitter, receiver, and its control unit. Okay, so this transmitter, receiver, and its control unit is responsible for providing the services to that particular area, that particular cell. Okay, so here you can see this is the concept of the frequency reuse. Here you can see the entire area is divided in the cellular network in a hexagonal cell, and in each and every area there is one antenna. Okay, so in this particular cell we are using the different frequency. So here you can see we are using total 4 frequency to provide the services to this particular area. So here F1 is there, F2 is there, F3 is there, and F4 is there. Now here you can see F1 is going to be reused at the same distance as well as F1 is used here. Same way F2 is used here, same way F3 is used here. Okay, so you can see there is no any frequency same frequency overlapping is there. So there is no any chances for the signal interference of the same frequency, and we are using the reusing the frequency. So we don't need the extra frequency or we don't need the different frequency for each and every cell. So this is the concept of the frequency reuse. Now when moving from one cell to another cell, as you have seen in the last slide, let's see again. Here suppose you are in the one cell at the frequency F1. Now you are moving from F1 to F2. That means you are moving from one particular area to another area. So what will happen? So let's see. So when moving from one cell to another cell during an ongoing conversation, that means you are talking to your friends, your relatives, and you are moving by car from one place to another place. Okay, so an automatic channel change occurs. This phenomenon is called the handover. So when you are moving from one place to another place, suppose you are moving from in Ahmedabad, you are moving from one area to another area. Okay, so when you are moving from one area to another area, you will not suffer of phone disturbance, okay, signal disturbance in your mobile phone. Why? Because automatic channel change is occurred every time. Okay, so this phenomenon is known as the handover. Handover maintains an active speech and data connection over the cell boundaries. The regular repetitions of the frequency in cell results in the clustering of the cells. Okay, so in last slide you can see that we have used the 4 frequency, that is frequency F1, F2, F3 and F4. So we are going to reuse the same frequency. So we have the cluster of the 4 frequency. Got it? Now, the cluster generated in this way can consume the whole frequency band. So like this way, we can cover the entire frequency band. We can cover the entire area. So this is the advantage of the frequency reuse in the cellular concept. Okay, so now let's have a look at the cell cluster. As you are aware about the cell cluster that we have seen in the last slide. Now let's have a look at this. Each cell I receives the subset of the frequency FBI from the entire set assigned to the respective mobile network. Okay, so to avoid any co-channel interference, 2 neighboring cells never use the same frequency, as you have seen in last slide. Only at distance 3. So frequency reuse should be at the same distance. You cannot use the distance. For example, you cannot use the frequency. For example, F1 you are using at the 10 meter distance, and F2 you are using at 100 meter distance. That is not possible. Okay, just I am giving the example. Okay, so you just have to use the frequency at the same distance only. Okay, so only at the distance t. That distance is known as the frequency reuse distance. Okay, so at the frequency reuse distance, the same frequency from the set of FBI can be reused. Here, in our example, we have taken the 4 frequencies, so we have the set of 4 frequency, that is F1, F2, F3 and F4. Got it? Okay, so cell within the distance d from cell I can assign one or all the frequencies from the set of FBI belong to the cell I. Okay, so at the same distance we will assign the same frequency, for example F1. Then we will reuse the same frequency at the same distance without overlapping. The size of the cluster is defined by K, the number of cells in the cluster. Okay, so it also defines the frequency reuse distance D. The figure shows the example of the cluster size 4 that we have seen in last slide also, and we will see in the upcoming slide also. So here you can see we have the cluster of 4. Okay, here you can see the highlighted cell in a yellow color, that is 1, 2, 3, 4. Same way at the downside 1, 2, 3, 4. So that is what this 1, 2, 3, 4 is representing the cluster. And here again you can see this capital D that represents the distance. So here you can see the distance between the frequency 2, that is same. Distance between frequency 4 is same. Distance between frequency 3 is same and 1 is same. So we are reusing the frequency at the same distance. And here our K is 4. That means you are using the cluster of 4. Got it? So like this way, we can define the cell cluster. In exam also it is given to you. Suppose K is equal to 4 is given to you, K is equal to 3 is given to you, or K is equal to 5 is given to you. You have to define the cluster like this way, without overlapping, and you have to use the frequency at the same distance. Okay, so this is what the cell cluster that we are going to use in the cellular network. Okay, so what is the advantage of the cellular network? So here you can see these are the basic 4 advantages of the cellular network, which are high capacity, less transmission power, local interference and robustness. Okay, so high capacity. Why high capacity? Because implementing the STM allows the frequency reuse. Space division multiplexing allows the frequency reuse. Okay, so if one transmitter is far away from another, for example outside the interference range, it can reuse the same frequency. So that we have seen that you can reuse the frequency at same distance. Then next is what? Less transmission power. We required less transmission power because, as I have given the example of throwing the ball, Suppose you want to throw the ball at the 500-meter distance, it is not possible. But if you want to throw the ball at the 50-meter distance, then it is possible. Okay, so to throw the ball at the 500-meter distance, that required high power. But to throw the ball at the 50-meter distance will require the less power. The same concept is followed in the cellular network. So this less transmission power is required. Now next is what? Local interference. Having the long distance between sender and receiver result in even more interference problem with small cells. Mobile stations and base stations only have to deal with the local interference. Okay, so we just have to deal with the local interference in this particular cellular network, because we are going to divide the entire area in different cells. That's why. Now last one is the robustness. Cellular systems are decentralized and so more robust against the failure of the single component. Okay, so if one antenna will fail, another antenna will take care of that particular area. So the cellular network, cellular system is robust. Okay, so these are the four main advantages of the cellular network or cellular system. Now, which are these advantages of the cellular system? So here you can see these are the three disadvantages of the cellular system. Which are? First is what? Infrastructure needed. Second is what? Handover needed. And third one is what? Frequency planning. So as the name suggests, infrastructure needed. Okay, so why infrastructure needed? You have to plan the frequency, you have to plan the area, you have to plan where you are going to reuse the frequency. So we need the very complex infrastructure to connect all the base stations. And second is what? Handover needed. That means if you are moving from one cell to another cell, you automatic channel change should be occurred. So you don't have to suffer the signal disturbance. Okay, noise should not be there. So that is what? Handover needed, and that we have to maintain. And last one is what? Frequency planning. So again, as I discussed in the infrastructure, you have to plan the frequency, how many frequency you are going to use in particular network, and at the what distance you are going to reuse. Okay, so to avoid the interference between transmitter using the same frequency, frequencies have to be distributed carefully. Got it? So this is all about this lecture. We have covered this all the topics, that is what is cellular network, that we are continuing from the last lecture, then cell geometry, then antenna radiation pattern, then we have covered about the frequency reuse, then cell cluster, and then advantage and disadvantage of the cellular system. Okay, I have mentioned all the topic here because all the topic that is related to the cellular network. So from this two lecture we have covered all this topic. Got it? Okay. So this is all about this lecture. Remaining interesting topic we will cover in the next lecture. Thank you for watching. We will meet in the next lecture with a new topic. Thank you.